Hello and welcome to my channel. Welcome to Chitra Diaries. Uh, this video is the second episode of my personal finance chat series. Last month we had like a quick little exercise just to recap of where we were supposed to list down everything that we earn, everything that we spend, so we would know where we're starting from. And today's video will be like very practical. I will be demonstrating like a very simple but very comprehensive budget template using Excel. I know there's so many budgeting apps, but I felt it was important, like especially if you're doing this for the first time, like actually like making the conscious effort to budget properly. Like it's just good to know how everything works even behind the scenes of a budgeting app, so that you truly understand what you're doing in terms of just listing everything and planning, and even just going about with your expenditure, your savings, like you name it, with a template of this matter or of this manner rather. So yeah, let's get into it. I will, yeah, like I have my PC or laptop here where I will just record the process. So all you have to do is open up your Excel, and yeah, let's get into it. So I had listed my own expenditure from last month. It's something that I've always done, and hopefully you had carried out the little homework as well. And I will start by listing our income category. Let me actually make this as visible as possible, because I know most view from their phones, so hopefully this is clear enough. So with income, I like to start with, if you're someone who doesn't use zero-based budgeting, where like you'd like something to be rolled over to the following month, it would be nice to start with a balance category. So with this column, I would just format it into a number format, so that even if I add, like, for example, so I'm just putting like random amounts here. It's not exact figures. This is just for demonstration purposes. So I will say balance. And then I am a salaried employee. So I put salary here. For example, let's just put 5,000. And then I have a tenant. So I do get rental income. Let's say 2,000. Then you could have multiple sources of income. So this would be what income 3. So for example, this could be like a bonus from work bonus, and maybe this could be 1,000. It could be gifts, like my birthday is next week. So if you're someone who like where someone gives you money, or yeah, if you're somebody who receives money often, that would be nice. So again, this is me just putting rough estimates here. Another source of income, sorry, could be from business proceeds. So if you have, other businesses where you pay yourself monthly as the owner there, you could even put like a 4,000 here. I'm just putting rough estimates here. You could have another source of income. So it's up to you. You can customize this, but like I said, I want this to be as comprehensive as possible. So income 6 could be government bond coupons that are paid out. It could be bank interest, just anything else. Dividends. Yeah. How do you spell dividend? Yeah. And maybe this could be, yeah, again, all these are estimates. Then I will sum this up and just, say maybe Control B just to make it stand out. And then we'll move on to expenditure. by the way, like I said, this is me just showing you like a rough little figure, or a rough expenditure, like just like a rough template, but I think it's very helpful, and you can customize this, whichever way that you want. So the first thing under expenditure will be a category of where this is like savings and you're trying to better yourself. So you could do savings one. Oops, my bad. So this is savings one. Under savings one, this could be an emergency fund that you're trying to build. Then savings two could be, so I do village banking for my Zambians. You know what village banking is. I might expand on it one day in the future. Savings three could be, so I'm in a different family group, and I will expand on savings and just ways in which you can grow money or save money in future videos. But for today, like, we're just listing stuff. So I have a family group savings. Yeah, a family group for savings, which is like zero interest, but still we just try to help each other save. Then you could have like other like big girl or big boy investments where maybe in that particular month you're purchasing government bonds, or maybe you do stock trading. Like, you could list that there as something, as money that is leaving your account, like something that you have to pay for. And investments too, it could be anything else that you want. The next category is debt. So if you aren't a salaried worker, maybe you have to pay off, like maybe your loan payments aren't automated. So I should have labeled these. So these could be a loan to an institution. You could have borrowed someone, so you could have borrowed money from someone. You list them there. Then I go to like my utilities, things that are like, um that are essential expenses. So I'm listing rent. Then I do have a housekeeper whose salary I have to pay. So housekeeper wages, and then I do pay her statutory contributions. So like a national pension in my case. So I'll just put statutory contributions. Up next is electricity. And I apologize if this is boring, but I hope someone is appreciating this, like, very comprehensive demonstration. So this is me now just listing like my household bills. Then I move on to my car. So there's fuel, oil, and coolant. And this template is one that I tried to make as comprehensive as possible, because it's what I shall use for like the entire year. Like, I'll just be copying and pasting this onto like a new worksheet every, like, once you transition to the next month. So this was what I spent during the month of February, and yeah, like, we'll cross over to the month of March, and I'll show you at the end like how you can just copy and paste this, just in case you don't know how to. Again, I also want to take it for granted that people are learning along with me. So if you're a know-it-all watching this, that's nice for you. You can give us some pointers as well. So streaming subscription, so my internet bill, my mobile minutes. So list everything. So like I said, the whole point of us this year is trying to figure out where our money goes so we can plan better. So with groceries, I'll put a little asterisk here, and I'll get back to that later on. In terms of personal care, this could be like the salon, doing my nails, eyebrows, spa treatments, everything just goes into this category. Then I also do dry cleaning for like certain clothing that, so I hand okay, do I say I hand wash? My housekeeper hand washes my clothes, but there's certain items that have to be dry cleaned. So dry cleaning has its own list there. So my gas for cooking, for when we don't have direct electricity. Like most of us Zambians know this drill now. Like everyone has a gas stove or a gas cooker or plate. Then I also have courier services. So for you guys that like to order Yango rides here and there, even just me who might order like a few things from like Discam or Take a Lot, I have this one category for courier fees. So I'll just put it as courier fees. Then I have a car maintenance category, and this is for things like car insurance, fitness, road tax, servicing, and any other eventualities that might come up during the year. Up next is a school fees category because I'm still in school. And then I have the medical and dental because like especially for dental, actually I could add like optician fees as well, but I like my reading glasses, which I forgot. I forgot when bringing them here. But yeah, everything like sometimes my medical insurance doesn't cover the full amount, so I always have this category that's just there ready for me to indicate if I spend money on medical, like anything medical or dental related during that month. Once upon a time I would travel. I don't anymore because I can't afford it. Like honestly, truly, I have prioritized my money towards other things because like travel is not a necessity. Like I just can't afford it right now, but still it would be there. I would like to go on holiday in the near future if my finances align better, but yeah, that's there. Gifts, so this is me buying people birthday presents, baby shower gifts, weddings, like just anything, graduation gifts. It has its own category here. And then social gatherings has its own thing. So if I go grab a coffee or a lunch or just anything, like if I'm going out to socialize, it has its own line. Okay, I account for it. Like I'm not just doing things willy-nilly. And then I also have a category for aid. So this is where someone asks you for some help. Most of the time, people quote unquote borrow money. So I have a category there that I just indicate whether they pay me back or not. I just indicate it as having left my account just for the sake of accountability on my end, just to keep track of things. Then, yeah, I have hair on my head, even though it's hidden most days. I do have to buy hair products. So I buy hair products like maybe once or twice a year, and I like to buy in bulk. But still, like once in a while, I might have to top up on a specific product here and there. It has its own category on this template. And then I also have a skincare and beauty products category, and same thing with skincare and beauty products. For skincare, I tend to buy my skincare once every quarter. Beauty products like makeup and stuff very rarely, but still it has its own category for those event, like for those times where I have to restock. And then I also have a clothing line. Then I have home appliances. Let's see, home appliances and items, so anything that I buy for my house. Yeah. There's also handiwork. So this is where you call in an electrician or a plumber to fix something, a carpenter. Yeah, carpenter. Sorry. Yeah, it has its own line. And then for you awesome people who have projects going on. So if you're constructing, if you have payments that you have to make, maybe you're making down payments for land that you're trying to purchase, and you know that every month you have to pay something towards that, or every month you try to okay, like every month you're spending something towards a project. It could be any project. Like I've just added this category, like whatever it is that you might be doing in your life where you're spending money monthly that you have to budget for, you can put it here. And then I have a miscellaneous category. I also put an asterisk here. So this is for really like small items outside of like the groceries like list that I'll show you. So just like small items or one-stop items that aren't that, important, that just go into miscellaneous category, but I still take note of it. Like I still take note of it. And then the last thing on my main like list of stuff is ATM and transfer fees. And let me tell you, I keep track of everything. Every Airtel money transfer, like even as I'm sending money, because Airtel, because I use the app, like it will show you how much it will be you be charged. I may not indicate down to the Ingwe, but I round it up to the nearest kwacha because these amounts add up. They really do if you aren't keeping track of them. And yeah, I we're trying to keep track of everything so that we know where we stand at any given point in time. So here, like, let's just put like just random amounts, honestly, because let's see, oops, okay, I can leave it at 1,000, to be honest, even though that was an oopsies. Let's see, let me just make everything okay. Some things would be 10, 10, like, again, like, this is all just hypothetical, you know what I mean? So let me actually just copy and paste this, because this is just a demonstration. Like, we're just trying to see how to list things. So once I'm done with this main category, I can also sum this up, and that's what we have. So where's the groceries? I think I put an asterisk next to groceries. Yes. So under groceries here, I'll actually put that in bold. I didn't want to put all my groceries on this main list because it will end up looking cluttered and I'll just confuse myself. So I do like a subcategory of its own that now feeds into the main thing, which I will show you later. So in terms of groceries, again, I try to make it as comprehensive as possible. So for me, who's Zambian Millie Meal, top of the list. So for now, like, and again, this is just for demonstration purposes. Like, I hope you find this helpful. So I list my starches, bread and rolls. So just try and list everything that you can think of that you buy or that you use. You may not buy it monthly, but it's just nice to have like a ready-made template. Yeah, if that makes sense. Oh, olive oil. I got to add the oil here. Okay, next is like fats. So I have butter, and then margarine, jam, peanut butter, chocolate spread. Then I move on to my milk. So fresh milk, soy milk, some more like dairies of sorts, cheese, yogurt. I have cereal, oats, muesli, then like the liquids, so mineral water, fruit juice, juice concentrate. Some of you know the difference. So there's the juice for diluting, as we call it here. Yeah, then there's teas. I'm not really a coffee person, so I don't really buy coffee like that. Unless I need it for baking, and then it would just be under like a miscellaneous purchase for that month. So yeah, eggs. Then this is more like meats, so chicken. So even though I'm vegetarian, I still buy like meat related products for other people in my home because I'm the only person who's vegetarian. Fish. So for me, there's vegan sausages, beans, lentils, and soy pieces. So these are things that I eat often. Then the salt, spices, and then I have condiments. So this is could be tomato sauce, mayonnaise, sweet chili sauce, barbecue sauce, mustard, yeah. And then I have salad dressings because I actually like salads. So I do like salad dressings. Then I have fruit and vegetables, so just regular fruit and just say veggies. So assorted, so veggies assorted. Then I do serviettes or paper napkins for people in America. Snacks. Then let's see, kitchen foil. I apologize if this is boring, but hopefully someone is enjoying it. Cling and please, like, and that's why we had that exercise last month. Like, I hope like you did your, like, you listed everything that you know that you spent, or if you didn't spend certain things last month, I hope you can create a template where you identify everything that you use on a regular basis, even though you don't buy it monthly. So cling film, parchment paper. So I may not buy these every month, but like I said, I just have, like, I like to have like a general template for everything. Baking powder, vanilla essence, and I have cat food, cat litter. Then, so this category is more like cleaning supplies, but I just lump everything under groceries. So you can split them if you want to. You can have a groceries category on the main part of the expenditure list, and you can do a separate line for, like, it's entirely up to you. Like, yeah, whatever makes you happy. So bin liners, washing powder, and then I do like a separate washing bar soap, because like I said, my clothes are hand washed, so there's certain things that she uses that need a bar soap versus washing powder. Fabric softener, uh, scouring powder. This is Ajax, you guys. I was just like, what is Ajax? But then for everything else, like as I was making this list, like, you guys, I don't know how to describe Mistamine. Mistamine, like, what actually is Mistamine? But for the people in the West, it's this spray that you use on like wooden or glass furniture to make it shiny and also smell better. Yeah. And then Handy Andy is, I don't know how to describe Handy Andy, you guys. It's like a surface cleaner of sorts. You can clean surfaces and like ceramic tubs and sinks and stuff like that. Domestos is like, okay, Domestos is bleach, but mostly, yeah, like I use it to clean my toilets. I also have Harpic. So Harpic is like a proper, like, Harpic is like a toilet cleaner, like straight up. But I have both Domestos and Harpic. Then I've just put Doom. Doom is insect killer. It's an insecticide. Insecticide, yes. This is Doom. And then I have Deo Block. So this is now me listing brands, but I don't know how, like, I'm used to calling them in this manner. So Deo Block is like an air freshener, but it comes in a block, which I just put near my cat's litter box, because yeah, I have a pet. And then I have separate air freshener, like the spray, which I buy like for the rest of the house and the bathrooms. So there's tissue rolls, and then there's paper towels. Sorry, paper towels, and then there's hand washing liquid, dishwashing liquid. Yeah, dishwashing liquid, dish washing sponges and scourers, sponges and scourers. Yeah, and I move on to my personal stuff. Again, I just put this under my general groceries, and I'm obviously not buying a shower cup every month, but I've just left it under this category, and yeah, it makes sense for me. No, okay, actually, let me start with shower gel, bath soap, body scrub. Then I have shaving sticks. Then sanitaries, and liners, lotion, body oil, roll-on, which I know people in the West call like deodorant. I called it roll-on over here. So shower cap and gloves. So again, like, I don't buy these every month, but they're still there on the template. So there's toothpaste. Why did I say it's supposed to be one word? Anyways, it doesn't matter. Okay, you know what? No, no. I need to fix it to bother me later. Toothpaste, dental floss, hand cream, hand sanitizer, Vaseline because I'm black. It's the best. And then I also have the little like medicine pill type categories. So Puritan is like it's what an antihistamine. It's for like allergies. Yeah. Then magnesium. It's for like tummy aches. Magnesium tablets. I do iron supplements. That okay. In fact, let me put it as iron and B12 supplements. Then I have my pill. So I also have a category for tail bags. And this motivates me, even though I always forget. But when I see how much I spend on tail bags, I'm like, I need to be recycling them. Even though I sometimes try not to use plastic, like even if it's the fabric ones, I forget sometimes. I forget. Okay, so tail bags, and then I put car washes under groceries. Like I know you can put them on the main thing because I do it often as I'm getting stuff, whether it's weekly grocery runs or whatnot. I've just put it under this category. So yeah, that ends this part. And like I had done for the other sections, I will just put like a 10 kwacha for everything here. So let's see, 10. So this is me just putting, you know, like a random amount for demonstration purposes. And I sum it up. So this, actually this is too little. Let me make it maybe 50 per item. Yeah, because there's something that I want to show you later. So change this up to 50. It's a bit more realistic. So this is B144. So we'll go up to where the groceries part is. So instead of this 10, I'll just say it's equal to, oopsies. So I will go down to the sum of what the groceries are, this cell. So let's change to that. And now our expenditure is 7,000. And this is not the example that I wanted us to have. I think I might change a few things. Okay, let me insert a column here. So this will be equal to the total income that we have. Then we'll subtract what we plan on spending. And then this will show us either a surplus or a deficit. Now this is, for me, this is extremely unrealistic, but let's just put it as, imagine, and let me put this as surplus or deficit. So if you're one of those fortunate people where you spend far less than you earn, you could now redirect this to like these major categories. So these categories. So if you're someone who wants to be debt free, you could prioritize increasing. So if these are part payments where you're paying partly towards certain debt, you could decide to clear it off and pay it off quicker. You could increase how much you're saving. You could increase how much you're investing. So you could do that. Like that's like the best thing we can do. And because this is a personal finance situation, we're trying to better ourselves this year, which I'll talk about later. I would honestly prioritize these things. I wouldn't prioritize or reassign money to consumption. So everything else here is just consumption. Okay. If you can focus, if you aren't comfortable and you would want to do better, you'd want to save more, we are focusing on these items if you happen to have a surplus. Now, let's imagine you're making far less and you find yourself in a situation where, let's say, your salary is 3, this is maybe 1, and then this becomes a 500, a 500. Maybe you get nothing from your business, and maybe your government bonds are only 500. So if we scroll down to what your surplus or deficit is, if you do your monthly budget of what you spent or just a projection of what you feel you have to, because we're like February is done, we're going into March. So if you've done your projection for March and this is the deficit that you're in, this is where now we scroll up and look at our consumption list and try to think of ways in which we can minimize it. So in fact, I can even start with my groceries part. So the first thing I would get rid of is snacks. So snacks are not a necessity. Like I'll just try and go through certain things that I can get rid of to reduce that. Let's see. Snacks. I don't need snacks. I don't need maybe I could reduce certain things like maybe cereal. Maybe I don't need cereal. Could get rid of cheese. I could get rid of chocolate spreads and maybe jam. Um, nah. I love my starches. So you could just try and play around and see what you can reduce of, whether it's the quantities. And sometimes you may not. So like I said, there might be months where you aren't spending on everything. So you now go up and see how things are looking. And yeah, you could just try and reduce uncertainty. But as you can see, like the major thing is groceries. So you just have to look at your groceries and see what you can reduce on. A lot of these things are mandatory, like my housekeeper's wages, that's not going anywhere. Neither is our statutory contributions, electricity, water, refuse collection, fuel as well. Like this is fixed. Like this is my commute to work. You could get rid of cable if you wanted to. So just go through the list and see where you can reduce. If you get to a point where you feel like you've reduced as much as possible and you're still in deficit, this is where now you have to sit with yourself and realize that you now have to find ways of increasing your income, which is a situation that most of us are in. So yeah, that's where I will end here. For the purposes of this demonstration, I will show you how to copy and paste, because let's just imagine this was what we spent in February. Like this is supposed to be the situation for February, and you might find yourself in a situation where you're like, oh my goodness, like I'm in deficit. And maybe you do, like maybe you borrowed money from somewhere and you know that you have to pay them back next month. So this might even be like I was about to change the top part for income to like bump it up so that we're in surplus instead of deficit. But let's show a situation where maybe you ended the month where you owe somebody money and you want to do better in the next month. So let's name this worksheet as February. So this is what you spent in February, and then you just right click it. So you can say move or copy. So I'm using a very old version of Excel, but I know some options can make you just duplicate it, and I'll move it to the end. So I'll just move it to the end, and I will rename this to March. So this is now my projection for March and how much I'm going to spend. And if you're like me who likes to roll over with a certain amount of money, I would just say equal to whatever balance was there in the previous month. So I'm already in a major deficit. And if I spent the same as I had spent in the previous month, this is how much I am short of this 3740, and I now have to figure out a way in which to bridge this gap, whether I need to earn more, whether I need to sell more items if I have a business or a service. Yeah, but let's not try and get into more debt to clear off debt. So yeah, we'll get into conversations late in future videos, but I just thought this would be helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. I apologize that it's so long. I think there was something else I wanted to mention. Yes, the last thing I wanted to mention is, now that you know um what your outlook is for March, the same way you had done for February, where you listed everything, this is now your full projection for March. So just go through everything, what you're going to spend, and then during the month as you are spending. So once you figure out your budget and you're like, okay, fine, this is set. When it comes to expenditure, as you are paying off your bills, you can be ticking them up. So what I like to do is I just, oops, sorry. So I will highlight everything and just change it to like a yellow. I do the same thing under groceries. Yep. And then as I am spending, I just go up and put the actuals. So some things might cost more, some things might cost less. So you might find, okay, these tend to be fixed costs, I think, for the most part. But in terms of personal care, you might find that maybe you spend a 5, maybe your dry cleaning is a 2, maybe you don't spend anything this month because you still have gas, maybe you don't spend anything on courier services, maybe your car maintenance went up, it was 15, maybe you didn't spend anything on school fees, maybe you didn't spend anything on medical and dental. So you, as you are spending, you will change that, and then you will be going through your list, and then you can just change the color. So I have Excel on my phone as well. So even as I'm going about my life, running errands, like once I'm done paying for something, once I'm done like shopping or something, like I just do like a quick session in the car and update my little Excel sheet. If you want to, I will show you later on, because I don't want to do a whole bunch of information overload. But for now, the point is, as you are going through the month, you can be taking off some items. Same thing with groceries. Maybe this month you have an excess of like rice and potatoes. Maybe you just bought noodles. Maybe you have, like, you still have olive oil from the previous month. Maybe margarine cost more, maybe it was 80. So you just go on, even as you are spending. So after you buy, like, do like a grocery haul, get your receipts, and if you can, like, just keep a little folder for your receipts for up to a month, just so you can keep track and go back to everything that you spent. Like, trust me, you aren't doing too much. You are literally saving yourself. You're trying to do better. If you've never done this before, don't think you're overthinking, you're doing too much, or you're pinching pennies. Like, you're being like wise with your money. Like, just pat yourself on the back for even making that effort. So yeah, hold on to receipts and just change the amounts to actuals as you are spending. Once you spend, or if you clear off this line where you know you aren't spending anymore for that month, at least it will help you keep track of what's left to spend. And then you can always go up and see how you're doing in terms of the surplus or deficit, whether it's reducing, whether it's increasing, and the like. So yeah, this video is super, super long. Oh my goodness, it's 40 minutes. Wow. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. That's will be our exercise for the month of March, and then we'll come back at the end of March. So like I had mentioned in the previous video, I've been doing these once a month, and then we'll talk about something else in the next video, which would be like our exercise for the month of April, or even just in general. So yeah, I really hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.